Hello, hello, and welcome to my follow-up video for my simplest 1.14 iron farm build that I put out a couple days ago. I got a lot of comments on there saying 200 villagers. How are we going to get 200 villagers in there? That's a lot of villagers, and it's pretty easy actually, so I'm going to show you how. So what you want to do is, well, before you get started, you're going to want to get a bunch of supplies. So you want a bunch of blocks, you want some smooth stone, or not smooth stone, you're going to want some slabs. You're going to need a whole bunch of glass, you're going to need some ladders, depends on how high you want to make it. Probably a crafting table and all of your supplies to make beds, because beds don't stack still, and so it's a lot easier to just bring the supplies with you. And then you're going to want to bring as many looms as, or not looms necessarily, any workstations that you choose to use. Looms are pretty cheap to make. It's just 2 planks and 2 string, so I do that one. But bring as many as you want for however many villagers you want to use. So I'm going to do this in creative and show you how to do it in survival. So first thing you want to do is you're going to want to pillar up, and you're going to want to make yourself a way up and down. Or if you really want to, you can make it a quick way down. Just on the side, put some water, and then just pillar up while you're doing that. I'll start over again. So just pillar up, just jump and keep placing blocks. That way when you want to come down, you just jump. Hopefully you land in the water, unlike what I just did. But then you come back down and then you start placing these, and you can just place those all the way up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You want to go, that depends on how high you want to do it. I'm just going to do about 20 high, somewhere in there, just so make it easy. Alright, now that you've got your post built there, so we're going about roughly that high. I don't even know how many blocks it is, but just go roughly 20 high and maybe higher if you want to. You're going to go build out to the side a little bit just so you can have a way to get up. And then if you say, let's just use 30 villagers, okay? So that's the size we're going to do. We're just going to do 30 just because it's going to be quicker to do, but if you want to do 200, it's the same amount. If you want to do 200 on 4 different platforms and do 800 total, you're going to get a ton of iron. It's going to take a lot more materials, but it's the same exact concept. So starting from this block, don't count this one, but go out 15 blocks if you're doing 30 villagers, so just cut that number in half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and just keep going. Alright, that was 15 right there, and then these are where your beds are going to go, so you're going to do 4 across total this way, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to fill that in the whole way. So let's just do that real quick. That is your way up right there. Okay, so now what you want to do is you're going to want to start placing some beds. So an easy way to do that in survival is make yourself a whole bunch of beds, fill up as much of your inventory as you can of your beds, and then when you put one down, just hit it, and then you hit your middle mouse button, and it's going to pop up more in your inventory. So you can just keep placing it down, hit your middle mouse button while you're pointing at it, and it's going to go, and then you're going to go until you run out completely. So you just want to do that. So fill in all of your beds here. Do not include these 3 blocks that you built there. So your ladder's on this one, you don't want to do it on those. Alright, once you've got all of your beds in, it's going to look a lot like this, and then what you're going to want to do is come over to your edge here, and you're going to put glass next to one of the beds so it sticks up like that. Then you're going to put glass all the way around, so let's just do that real quick. For now, we're just going to leave a little space right there just to get up and down. Alright. Once you've done that, you're going to get your workspace, or workstation, whatever it's called. You're going to put one on each of the glasses that's right next to each of those beds. So you're going to have 15 on each side since we're doing 30 villagers. Alright, just like that. And then you're going to fill your glass in along with that. Once again, I'm going to leave a little space there just so I can get out there. You see these beds are pretty bouncy, so if you want to make a village breeder above this, you can just drop your villagers in here and they're going to land on the beds and not get any damage. It's kind of nice. Alright, so once you've done that, you're going to want to go up one more. Do glass all the way around. Alright, now you've got glass all the way around. Now this is where all your villagers are obviously going to go. So all you need to do is get 2 villagers, and I'm actually going to block this off just for now, but you can put like a, you can put your, actually you can do this. On creative mode real quick and just put ladders up. You can make ladders that high. You can add 3 more to that. That way you can get in here real easy. Alright, so now what you need to do is get some villagers, so you can just, use a water bubble column or whatever to bring them up to here. All you need is 2, and you're just going to bring them in here. I'm just going to do it like this because it's simple. Alright, now they are going to change to, and it's nighttime already, so they're going to sleep, but they're going to change to the shepherd since it's always looms. But if you want to do a different block here, workstation, they're going to change to whatever profession you want. Doesn't really matter. You're not going to be trading with these guys, so you just want to put the cheapest one in, which is why I've been using the loom, because that's pretty cheap. Alright, once you've got a couple of villagers in there, you're going to want to cover this up if you're doing this outdoors. You can build this village farm underneath. You don't need any sky access or anything like you used to need to do for your villages. It doesn't really matter how many villages you have by. Villages are made completely different now, so it just matters how many beds you have and how many workstations you have for this iron farm. And for a village breeder, it only matters how many beds you have. Nothing else matters, doesn't matter anything. You know, beds can be, I think, 64 blocks away and still count as a village, but yeah. So what you've got in here is enough beds for however many villagers you want. So when these villagers start spawning their little babies, they are going to make only the amount that you need to fill up these beds here. So it's pretty simple. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip time to 0 so they wake up. Next thing you're going to want to do is get a bunch of food. So I'm going to do it the easy way because I'm in creative, but you are going to need a bunch of food for this. So grab as many stacks of food as you possibly can. You can always come back and give it to them later. All you got to do is throw them stacks of food. The more you throw them, the more villagers are going to make, and less often you have to come back. So I'm just going to throw all of this food to them real quick. Look, they're already getting hearts because they've got plenty of beds, so they can make more villagers. So just continue to give them as many as you can. Okay, they've already got a baby. So as long as they have food and they can trade, they're going to just keep spawning babies until all of these beds are filled. That's how you get your villagers for your village or your iron golem farm. It's as simple as that. Alright, once you've got your villagers in there, you want to make sure this is all covered, because if they get struck by lightning, they turn into witches. So whenever you're working with villagers, cover them. This one can be, put underground, which is where I have it in my Let's Play world. But yeah, this is all you need. So from here, you can just start making your platforms for the iron golem spawning. So if you want to, you can just put some, just hit the wrong one. Put some here, you can put them all the way down this side, blah, 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 just put them over here. And when they get to here, you're just going to want to drop them down into a killing chamber, however far down you want to do, and then that's your iron farm right there. Alright, I hope this cleared up any questions you had from that last video, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and don't forget to subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment for any other builds you'd like to see. See you later.